Welcome back to the bench. The next task that we have to do on our build is to build the shocks. Sometimes my least favorite thing to do. Let's see how Vanquish shocks go together. I'll put some shocks together which seem to confound me. So we're going to give it a shot. So we need baggy. And we got a couple of parts trees. Some oil. They don't tell us what weight it is. Shock cylinders, rods, springs, adjustment nuts, all the things we need to build the shocks. Okay. Baggy 1 hardware. Little E-clamps, little O-rings, little ditty tiny O-rings that go in the shock that are always fun to put in. And I can't get that little O-ring to come out of there. Little bitty things. There we go. Okay. Again, shock oil. I'll go ahead and put their oil in and see where they stand. You can buy different thicknesses of shock oil if you want them stiffer or faster or slower, I guess, in rebound. Shock tubes are metal. Springs. Are color-coded blue, which who knows what Vanquish means by blue. Purple, I guess, is what the color is. And I mean, you can probably look online somewhere. I don't actually know how much spring is in their springs, how much they're sprung, but they're using purple, whatever that is. All right, so I give you a little picture here. Explains the different things that go in the shock. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's really difficult. Now, to build these shocks, you need a shock tube, shock spring, shock shaft, and some parts off the tree. A shock cap here. Okay. You need a bushing attachment to the shaft. It's like a link end. The long ones, there's a picture up here that tells you there's 3 different types here on these trees. You need the long ones. Looks like this one. Okay. You need a bushing. And you need a valve, shock valve. And looks like this on the tree. You need a spring holder like this. Okay. A tiny screw like this. And a very small white O-ring, a black O-ring, and what else do we need? Another C-clip, and I think that's it. Oh, and a adjusting nut for this spring. Okay, so your first thing you do is take the shaft, and I already showed you how to put a C-clamp on the end of that, and I'll give you a little demonstration on that. Okay, you take the valve, place it over that C-clip, take the second C-clip, I call them C-clips, they're called E-clips, that goes on top of this valve, and you clip that into place in the slot in the top of the shaft. These little things are so frustrating for me. Get you a pair of pliers and then squeeze that little C-clamp into place. Easier said than done, in my opinion. And it can get frustrating, like I say, with my big fingers, my arthritic fingers, being 70 and got a little bit of shake. Not too much, but just a little, enough. Just bear with me. I'm going to show you the whole process because sometimes it can take forever and sometimes it just clip right in. Right now it's taken me forever. If there was just some way to get them things started. I've tried pushing it from to start it just enough so it won't fall off of there to, oh my goodness. What are you doing?
Mail delivery.
Okay, I finally got it. Alrighty, we got the clips in place. So after you put the valve on, the clip on, then you slide it through the shaft. The pre-assembled, these shafts come pre-assembled with, at the very top of the page it tells you that all the things that are inside that are pre-assembled. Slide the threaded end into the shaft and out the bottom through the pre-assembled part. Then you take this link and shaft end that the bushing goes into, and I have this tool that I use, and I'll put this in the parts thing, to hold the shaft. There's different sizes here for whatever shaft you got. You can hold the shaft without damaging it, and then get this started. Try to get it straight as you can, and then take screwdriver, wrench, whatever, put it in the hole in the end, and just twist it on. And like I said, try to get it straight. And twist it all the way down to the bottom of the threads. You don't have to over tighten. They're not going to come off, I promise you. Okay, get that done. Then you need to put in bushing, and this tool will press the bushings in for you right here in the tool with the little shaft right here. Put it inside the bushing, and then kind of hard for me to show you while I'm doing it, and then push down on the bushing into the end. You don't have to take a lot of pressure, just a little bit of pressure. Slides right down in there, and it's in. Okay, once you have that part done, next, fill it full of oil. I'll give you the shock oil. Up to somewhere around 3 to 8 millimeters from the top. Okay, once you've done that, slide it up and down real easy and see if there's any bubbles. If there's bubbles, you got air in your shock. So keep doing it until you get no more bubbles in the fluid coming out of the shock. Next, you need the cap. And on that cap, you would put a black washer or O-ring on the cap. Before you put the cap on, you want to put one of the shock adjuster nuts on the threads. Make sure there's no air bubbles by moving the shaft up and down. And then thread in the cap. Hand tighten, don't go crazy. You squish that little O-ring, it won't do its O thing. What's its O thing? Keep the oil from coming out. Okay, next you push the shaft all the way to the top. Very carefully, because some oil is going to come out of that bleeder valve. Or bleeder hole, okay? You take the very small screw and a very small white washer or O-ring. Put that O-ring on that very small screw. Let's get the O-ring on that very small screw. and put that screw in the top of the shock and the bleeder hole. Again, just snug it up. Don't get crazy. Then take the spring, place it up against the adjustment nut, pull the shaft back out, take a place to mount the shock into, the spring into, put it around the shaft, drop the spring in it, on top of it, place a screw in here to lock this in place. I'm going to make sure that you line up the hole on the link end here, the bushing holder, and tighten that all up. Put the bushings into the other end of the shock. And you're finished. Feels good. Lasts a long time. Alright, that's the shocks. That'll be it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you liked it. See you on the next video. Have a great day.